Hello, everybody. It's Christy Whitman with the Quantum Success Show, where you could get your information and inspiration to create your desires. And I have an amazing man, amazing friend with me today. Many of you might know him from Mindvalley or Ever Coach. This is the amazing Ajit Nawalkha. He is a serial entrepreneur. I love that. Global educator and consultant. And he is the co-founder of Mindvalley Teach, Ever Coach, and Global Grit Institute. He is the author of the Book of Coaching, and his newest book, Live Big, is what we're going to be talking about today. So, Ajit, what I love about you, and I'm so grateful that you were on the show, is that you literally grew up, you lived in a home with 23 other people and always had pursued the dream of really living big. And I love that because you're such a great role model and example of it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what your socioeconomic was. It doesn't matter what your circumstances or situations. You can create wealth in your life. You can create impact. You can create global change. And so I am actually so thrilled to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Christy. I'm excited to share our experience as well.
Absolutely. So live big. That's a big title. And, what does that mean to you to live big?
So it happened a few years ago. So like you were sharing, my background is that I grew up in India in a small town called Jaipur with about 23 other people sharing the space with me. My cousins, my family, my grandparents, everybody shared in the same house. And that the way when you grow up with 23 other people is that you tend to think and tend to have an ambition towards creating a lot of abundance in your life, right? Because you're kind of being in this reality where you're like, oh, okay, I'm in this reality. I can choose to be in this reality, of course, but I can also make an attempt to get out of it. Now, I was fortunate enough to be able to find ways and find the right mentors and coaches and trainers who supported my journey so I could get out of the place where I was to create a life for myself. But at the same point in time, some of those times when in life it happens where you have made a really good living, but you forgot to make a great life. That moment happened in my life a few years ago where I was running this wonderful organization that you talked about called Mindvalley. I was the CEO of the company. I was running that whole enterprise, and it's a phenomenal company. And if anybody on the show is aware of Mindvalley, you also know that is a company in personal development and professional excellence and so forth. Right. So when you're leading an organization like that, you hopefully are somebody who is aware and who is into personal development and who is living it on a daily basis. And I thought I was living it, but not really. And that I only realized as my life started to fall apart, as my health started to face challenges, as I started to look at my life holistically, instead of thinking about, am I purposeful on a daily basis? Do I have a great career? Do I have a great business? I also asked the question, do I have great relationships? Am I connecting with my friends? Am I connecting with my family? Am I taking my time off? Am I securing the experiences I want to secure? Am I living a full, complete life? Right? At that time, I didn't know what this book is going to formulate, but that time was the time when I started to question that what is living life fully means. Like, what does it even mean to say? Because I had all the practices. I had my meditation practices. I was going to the seminars. I was doing things, right? I was doing all the things. And I was tremendously successful looking from the outside in, right? If you look from the outside in, you're like, this is a kid who's leading a wonderful organization, doing purposeful work, creating positive impact in the world. There could be nothing wrong, right? That's kind of how you would see from the outside in. And inside out, as I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, it's great on this dimension of my life, but what about all these other things that I care for as well? And that got me through to really ask these tough questions to myself and go, what is it that I need to do in my life to be able to really create a comprehensive, full, complete life? And as I started that journey, I started to discover a lot of things. And the key thing that stood out for me, and which is the meaning of live big for me, and everybody has their own meaning, is living big is meaning that you live a life of choice. You live a life where you can decide what you want to do at any time, and you are not strapped by something, you are not limited by something, but you are in a place of creativity, and you're in a place of being able to decide, hey, this is what is going to be, what my life's going to look like. This is how today's going to look like. This is my ideal day, and I live it every day. And that's what living big really means for me. And that's where the book comes from.
I love that, because I call that quantum success, because a lot of
Mm,
times people will have success in one area of their life, might be career, but their health or relationships, might be suffering, or they might
mhm,
have it going on with, finances in their career, but their health, or they have health and well-being, but they can't make money. And it's
mhm,
like, let's have it all in all aspects of our life, like full
mhm,
tilt in, what we love in each and every aspect. And it's not a taking from one section to build up the other. So now that you're
mhm.
focused on your health, it doesn't mean that your career has to settle, that you
Yeah.
get to live fully and experience abundance in all aspects, all quadrants of your life. So I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so that's where Live Big comes from. So what happened at that time was, as I was leading this organization, I started to realize and figure that my life is not really, I'm not living a life. I'm making a great living. That's all I was really doing, and I was really purposeful in everything, but not in all areas of my life. So I started to question everything. And one of the things that I had to do was to do an internal research, which is first to go ahead and try ideas and perspectives and strategies that would work for me. But as I was doing that, I also started my journey towards contributing back to the world that helped me change my life, which is the world of coaches and trainers and educators. And
Yeah.
that gave the birth to EverCoach. So this was just a few years ago. And I was, as I was creating EverCoach, I was like, hey, for my work and to be purposeful about saying, hey, if I want to impact coaches, I need to know their world fully. I mean, I knew it from the outside in, but I wasn't inside the world. I wasn't actually taking on clients or anything like that when I just conceptualized the idea. So I went out and I started taking clients. I was like, I got to do this myself to be able to see if I can actually, like, to be able to take care of my work part. Like, let me take a few clients and let me see what happens. And so I tend to work with entrepreneurs because that's the area of work that I've done for myself. And that's where I have a lot of experience that I can coach people through, build teams and so forth. So in that process, I was like, okay, let me work with these different entrepreneurs. And I found companies and entrepreneurs that led really great, wonderful companies, but they were doing 14-hour days. They didn't have time for their relationships. They didn't have time for their health. They didn't have time for all of these. And they thought the same thing, is that, oh, if I want to be the number one company in my field, or if I want to be outrageously successful in my own dimension, I need to just work my ass off. And that's the constant dialogue that everybody tells us, right? It's like, you go to social media, everybody's like, work hard, work hard, work hard. And yes, you have to work. It's not that you don't have to work hard, but that's not a complete dialogue of actually outrageously successful entrepreneurs. If you look at real entrepreneurs that have created tremendous success, and you agree, because I know quantum success is about the same stuff, is that if you look at entrepreneurs that have really created holistic lives, people who actually are created large companies actually live holistic lives. They go, no, we got to invest in relationships, and we got to invest in friendships, and we got to invest in our family. We have to invest in our health. And they are holistic entrepreneurs. They're not driven purely by success. And if they are, they tend to be sick, unhealthy, or they tend to lose their momentum after some time. And as I
Yeah.
started to talk to all these different entrepreneurs, started to coach them, I realized, okay, so this is not just me. This is an over encompassing problem. This is not
Yeah.
just I had an epiphany in my life and I had a breakdown in my life to create a breakthrough, but it was more about saying, hey, this is a constant. Not everybody, but a lot of us are going through this journey where we think there's only one thing you can do at a time, or only one area of life that you can find success at a time, and that we don't have a choice if you want to be successful. And so I said,
Absolutely.
can I try the things that are working for me with these different entrepreneurs? Now, I was fortunate. I had a few clients that I could actually run these tests on, right? They didn't know they were being tested because they were just being coached, right? And that's how it is, right? Because I was anyways coaching them and giving all of me for them to be able to create more success. So create more growth in their companies, but actually reclaim their life in the process, right? So that I tested for about 2 more years. And I found that those strategies and those perspectives and those ideas actually grew these companies anywhere between 30% to 100%, depending on the company and the size of the company, 30% to 100% growth year on year in revenue. And at the same point in time, they reclaim their lives. So they're working maybe 3 to 4 hours a day, which anyways, any entrepreneur which has an active mind would want to, because they wouldn't not want to work. And I don't believe in entrepreneurship where you just go chill for 5 days. I mean, you can take a break as much you want, but you don't have to work 8-hour days, but you don't have to work like not at all as well. Or that's just not my concept of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So I help them design those lives, and with the same principles, same strategies, and it tended to work again and again and again. And that's how the birth of Live Big happened.
So what would you say your first step in your formula, your framework would be, to have a big life, to have to really have, to really live big, as you say?
So firstly, that's why this book is a little bit different, because I treat everybody in this book as if you're a completely independent individual, and your journey will look very different to my journey and everybody else's journey. So the book is written as perspectives. There are about 25 different perspectives in 25 different areas of your business and your life that you need to look at. And as you look at those perspectives, you will find a relatable strategy to that perspective that will allow you to create a new shift in your life. You see, what I found is if I give a structure to saying you need to do this first and that first, it may sound easy for our brains to process step by step things. But what it turns out to be is it creates more failure, because there is my step by step is not your step by step, is not somebody else's step by step. There is no step by step, because business happens like life. You
Mm.
don't go in life saying, today I will have a great experience and tomorrow I'll have a bad experience. It just happens. And you respond to the experience that's happening for you. And you also create your own experiences, right? So that's
Yes.
kind of the place of creativity and response that we always live in as human beings. And so there's different perspectives that will allow you to be able to respond to certain things, and different perspectives that will allow you to be in a creative state, different perspectives that you need to be able to listen to and bring it to your life to be able to create new growth, right? So all of those are perspectives. They are not necessarily step by step, because you can't be happy first and then make money, right? It's not a step by step thing. It's you got to be happy as well, and
Right.
you got to be able to make money too. But there will be a stage of your life where you will be challenged with, how do I stay in a place of happiness? Or there will be a stage of life where you'll be like, how do I make money? Both of those perspectives are right there in the book, right? So for you to really take full results out of the book, what I hoped to create was to treat humans as humans instead of thinking of a step by step. I said, you are a human being. Your life is going to happen the way it's going to happen. Here is a perspective that will help you switch the dialogue where you are at that point, irrespective of the stage that you are at in business or state that you are in for yourself. You will be able to switch that dialogue after listening to that perspective, and will change the story going from there onward. So it's almost like
Brilliant. It's
a
brilliant.
coaching book, yeah, in a way. Like you get coached as you are going through the book. And that is also why I don't recommend read chapter 1, 2, 3, 4 in sequence. It's recommended to read based on, you go, what is it's almost like there's somewhat of a spirituality involved in that as well, because I say turn over to a page and hopefully you'll read the right message, right? So it's a sequential read. You don't go, oh, I need to read chapter 5 to understand chapter 15. That's not the case. They're completely independent as dialogues. It'll help if you read sequentially, but it doesn't have to be read sequentially. It is independent in the way it's written, like how life is.
That's beautiful. And you know what I love about you, Ajit, and you've given many examples of this, is I always believe that life is perspective, right? It's perception. And here you where you came living in a country and even in a house where it was like way overpopulated, in my opinion.
That's true.
So you took that contrast and you really got clear from that contrast what you did want, and you obviously started focusing on that and started creating, to have coaches and mentors that would help you even at that stage of your life to get you out of that and to be able to create something completely different. Most people don't do that. Most people don't take that contrast. They focus with their perspective. They hold the perspective that this is doom and gloom. This is the way life has to be. It's never going to change for me. And I love that. And then even when, you have the success that most people look at him and go, wow, he's successful. He must be happy, right? It's like you took the contrast of what was happening in your life, and then you said, okay, what more do I want? And what's the solution for that? And what's the perspective change that I need to have with that? And I really love that, because that's going to help a lot of people shift off of this limitation, this lack of this is the way it is and this is the way it's always going to be, into possibilities, into abundance, and into potential, which is so cool.
That is very true. And what I also found, and one of the things that we tend to kind of forget as entrepreneurs and tend to forget as individuals as well, is that we kind of think about that if life is going a certain way, it'll just stay that way, right? But life never stays the way it is. And that's what life has a different thing to offer every time. but we get used to the habit, we get used to the mundane, and we get used to the security, that whatever type of security, emotional security, financial security, physical security, we just get used to it. And so we just don't want to change because we feel like security is going to go away when we change, forgetting that life is uncertainty. Every other day is uncertainty, and you got to lean into that, knowing that yes, you want to create certain results, but life's not going to be certain. It's going to be uncertain, and you got to find that comfort in that uncertainty to be able to say, okay, I know this, I don't really know this, and I don't know if I'll figure this out, but I'm willing to take the chance. I'm willing to take a step forward to see what life has to offer. So to create excitement around that instead of creating mundaneness and boredom around it is a more exciting way to pursue a greater career for yourself and greater life for yourself in all areas of our lives.
Look at it as a great adventure. Like if you're going on a hike, you don't know what's around the corner, but you get excited about what's around the corner.
Yeah, that's true. And Alan Watts said it so beautifully. Alan Watts has a line in one of his lectures where he says, you don't wait for the music to end. That's not the point of the music. The point of the music is not to listen to the last verse. If that would be the point, the fastest music would be the one which only has, the best music would be the one which only has the end note. But that's not the point of music. The point of music is to enjoy the music as it plays. It has high notes, it has low notes, it has all the different notes. What if life was more like music? And not like a journey where you're leading to a destination. There's no point to why you live. The point is to enjoy what you live and how you live on a daily basis, on moment by moment.
That's a beautiful way to say that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful metaphor. I love that. So I know that you're going to give a gift to everybody, and we're just going to put the link right directly under the video. And so you're going to give to be able to pre-order the book, right?
Yeah.
And this is Live Big is a manifesto for entrepreneurs who have it all, which is so great and so in alignment with what I teach, because my last book was The Art of Having It All. So here you have it all. Now what do you do? So I just love that. So anything you want to say about that, Ajit? We're going to
absolutely. Absolutely. Go ahead on the link below. You'll be able to order a book absolutely for free for you. You just cover the shipping, and we are going to ship a book out to you. But because you're Christy's audience, what we are also going to do is we are going to bonus you a full 21-day program that you get as a part of the book. This 21-day program is basically a reset. It takes the ideas from the book and ideas beyond that, some more strategies beyond that, that allows you to actually take the practice of what you are really thinking about to change your life after you have done or you have read the book. And even if you haven't read the book, it helps you reset your life in a way where you can actually have it all. And you understand the idea of living big, and you get to recreate your life around that. But it's not only about life, especially if you're an entrepreneur. It helps you even twice as much because it allows you to also restructure your team. It allows you to be able to restructure and think about how to build a team, how to build your products, how to build your strategies to be able to create great results in your business while working less hours.
Perfect. Love it. And so what I always say to everybody is having it all is different for every single person. So you get to design it the way you want to design it. I love that you created your book in that way. It's not a cookie cutter thing. People are humans, they're individuals, and we all have our own desires, our own set of what success looks like, having it all looks like. So you get to mold and shape the clay as you want to shape it into your own life and any aspect of your life. And so Ajit is helping you do that by giving you the book for free. All you do is pay for shipping plus this 21 days to really, I always say, it's one thing to read something, it's one thing to get something conceptually, but when you apply it, and that's what the 21 days is going to help you do. It's going to help you apply it in your life, because that's where real change takes place, is when you apply it. So any final words that you want to share, Ajit?
I want to just invite everybody to think that there is life. Sometimes it feels hard, it feels difficult, it feels like, oh, we are not really cut out for this particular thing, or whatever that is that might be stopping you. Just know that you have the choice. It seems hard most of the time when we're making those decisions, or when we are thinking about, can we make these decisions? It feels hard, but it's not actually that difficult. You just have to make that decision and keep moving forward. So my invitation to everybody that is on the call right now and listening to this is know that you have a choice. You're just looking for the right tools and strategies, and you will find it here at Christy's podcast, and you will find it other places as well. You'll find it inside the book, Live Big, as well. But go ahead, find those solutions, and you will be able to have a life that you desire.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ajit. And for all of you, my family, please leave us a comment. Let me know what you're taking away and how I can support you. Let's continue the conversation. This is how I connect with you. So love to hear your thoughts, love to hear the nuggets you're taking away and what you're going to do with the information that you been enlightened with today. So have a great week, everybody. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought. Leave me a comment below and be sure to share and tag your friends. And be sure to check out my other videos here and on this site.